Welcome to Radio Boomers Live, the show about all things human from a baby boomer's perspective. All things hot and all things not. News, reviews, interviews, chat, tech, and what's next. And here are your hosts, Reatha Gray from Betty White's Off Their Rockers and Easy's dad, Jim Zuley.
Introducing EZWAY Family App, your new virtual vision 2020. Be seen, be available, be everywhere. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Track our content, stay connected, create your account to gain instant access. Go mobile or go home.
Welcome, Radio Boomers Live listeners around the world, and welcome to our EZWAY family. And Reatha is going to be doing auditions today, and we should have Sophia Alvarez on with us. Sophia, you on with us? Okay. We had a short delay with the tech situation, but we keep it pretty much on track. And with that, guys, there's so much going on in the world. Where do I start, right? Everybody's getting back in the groove. They're so happy to get back in the freeways. But you know what? A lot of people are deciding that maybe they liked it the way it was. You know, the report I did last week, there was so many employers waiting for their people to come back to work, but they had a year to sit around and think, well, hey, this wasn't so bad. I'm doing work from home, no traffic, no getting dressed. There she is, Sophia.
That's right. I mean, everybody's really taking advantage and seeing, you know, what they're able to do from home, and actually enjoying it. And they're having the benefits from it, from all this technology at home, and the learning curve. Definitely, it's been a learning curve.
And guys, Sophia has the Total Surrender Workshop, totalsurrender.org, but she's also she's a student of future trends in AI, which we're going to talk about later. But Sophia, I think that's what's kind of happening. And with that, this is going to be exciting because this AI situation, this artificial intelligence, is really getting interesting. But with that, let's get into our hot topic time and get some of the news. But you know what? It's, we got a time frame. We got a little off on our time. So why don't we see if you can contact Billy. I believe you have his number. Yes?
I have it right here.
Okay, give him a text or a call and tell him he can jump on. And you know what? We're going to move right into our guest.
Perfect.
Because, we got a lot of news covered, but we can cover that towards the end. We want to get Billy on if he's with us. And, that's what the situation is even the experts, which I'm going to cover, they are kind of stumped. You know, even the experts in Washington, they, okay, everything's changing. We're going into a new mode. And they don't actually know what the new mode is. And this was stated by some of the top people in the economy and, that deal with situations like that. They're kind of lost for words. And it's, Sophia, it's new waters, right?
Yes, it is. It's all new waters out there.
And what do you do? I mean, it's like landing on a new planet. Okay, what are the rules here at this planet? Well, first off, it's 800 degrees year-round, so we have to build our homes and our spacesuits a little differently and see how that works. Well, I don't know if my analogy is on
adaptation.
Point,
Adaptation, totally adaptation. You have to just readjust everything your whole life.
Right. And I just wanted to share that Eric gave me a Super Father's Day yesterday. It was really interesting. I mean, I did things that I don't know if I actually really played laser tag, and we wound up playing laser tag like 5 times, and I really learned as I went that you can't just stand there. People walk up and keep shooting you, and I was wondering, why am I always lighting up all the time? Well, I found out that's not a good thing. And
keep moving.
You got to keep moving, ducking and dodging. And I'm talking to the guy, and he's sitting there shooting me. But anyway, we went from the laser to the golf, and which I guess I need practice. But then again, those golf ranges are even harder than the golf course, going through their little homes and jumping over creeks and all that kind of stuff. But the bumper cars were fun, and on that one, Eric didn't quite get me. We were a tie on that. He was putting me away with the golf and the other things, but it was fun. And guess what I woke up with the next day?
What was that? Bruising?
A red face. A red face. Of all the times you see me with my cap on, and I forgot the cap, and boy, I had a red face. So did you get a little text or call to Billy?
Yes, we're working on that. We're waiting for responses back from them.
Okay, good. So, no, you know what? And we've talked about this before. Everybody works all the time. They get up, especially in this business. And, I mean, they're on the phone, on the computer, rock and roll all the time. But how important is it to unplug, right? Just once in a while. And, like, I'm not talking about, taking a lot of time off. Like once every 10 years, take a break, maybe a day. No, you got to do it more than that. But it regenerates, doesn't it? It recharges your battery. Like when you have the workshops, people, after they go to, like I went to one, it was really amazing for 3 days. And it does recharge you, And, you move forward and you just have a different outlook. You're more relaxed. I think that's a good thing. I mean, how often do people just, it's called entrenchment. I remember that in psychology class. You fall into a pattern. You fall into a certain thing. Like it's easy to fall into a pattern around your house, and the pattern is not getting things done because you're doing other things. And the stuff builds up, right?
That's just it. My sister was saying that actually our brain works that where we want to do certain things, but what is supposed to be done, but our brain tells us to do something else, so we don't have to do it. I call it procrastination.
Exactly. And
but you got to get back on it. You got to put everything in proper alignment. Yes. And
send. We had to notify everybody because we had a tech issue and holding off till we get the tech and it was all fixed. So give Carmelita a little text and she can tell her she can start her Carmelita's Corner.
Okay.
At the normal time, and Sophia and I have some interesting reports for you guys on where things are heading, and like the baby boomers hadn't planned too much. Like I remember when I was in my 30s and 40s, I didn't sit around and plan too much for being in my 60s or 70s, and now we wish we had put something together. Because what a difference it makes, right? Of course, you're not there yet, but you could be sitting around with, people like Jeffrey Levine and Jerry Kent.
Where the number flashed up a while ago.
So who do we have on with us?
I keep on hearing somebody in the background. Hello.
Is that Billy?
Hello, yes.
Jimmy, Billy. Okay, so guys,
there's Billy.
We have a situation here with a very special friend, a very special guest. Billy has been with he's carrying on the legacy of his father, Archie Moore, who was the light heavyweight boxing champion around the world for the longest reigning world light heavyweight champion of all time. And Billy has continued his father's legacy for having a big heart and caring for children through the ABC Youth Foundation, which he started. Amazing. It was started by his father back in 1957, I believe. And Billy and passed the torch to Billy. He's carried it on for 20 years. ABC began in 1957. Although much has changed since the beginning, the mission remains the same: to empower San Diego inner city youth to step into the life with their best foot forward. So welcome, Billy, and my co-host here is Sophia Alvarez, and she's the founder of the Total Surrender Workshop. And welcome to the show, Billy.
Woo! Welcome, Billy.
Thank you, Jim.
Whoa.
Sophia, good to
Well, I have to take a breath when I mean, your introduction could go on so long to where it gets to the point where I'll say, sorry, Billy, we have no time. It's just your father must have, because you are the world champion for carrying on a legacy like this. Your father must have a great big smile on his face for what you've, continued to do. And I want to get into all that. But so I want to talk a little bit about, or a lot about ABC and how things have changed in that. But, I wanted to touch a little bit on growing up, growing up in a time with your father, how he impacted you. I mean, it's not everybody who has a world champion father boxer, for so many years. And that's influenced you, I suppose. And, did you attend some of the bouts? Let's just cover a little bit about when you were young growing up, how did that influence you?
Well, let's cut through the chase. I'm kind of one of those kids that's kind of caught in the middle of a lot of stuff that has went on for the last two generations. And I didn't always live with my dad. And but him and I had a very, very unique relationship. And it was he was a great influence. And I did make some mistakes. Those mistakes that I made, it was probably because I didn't listen to some advice that he had given me. But as you know, you still there, Jim?
Oh yeah, I'm listening very attentively.
As you know that, in our life, if you're a believer, and I know that you're a believer, in our life, God allows some things to happen to some of us.
Yep. Yes.
So that he can use you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm so happy. Because I have a lot of shortcomings, a lot of them. And that's what
join
really
the club,
like
Billy, because I don't think I've met anybody who hasn't had these issues. And like the old saying, if you want to give God a laugh, tell him your plans. But all I know for a fact is you're a man with a big heart. And well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Go ahead, Billy.
No, that's what I like. I like letting people know I'm a guy that has a lot of shortcomings, and that's why I fit in. And
exactly. Got to have your testimony.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of our, not only kids, there's a lot of us out here today that need help. And one of the greatest things that we can do for one another is when we meet, Jim, like when we all met. We over the last year or so, we've shown each other a lot of love, and that's what's so needed.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can't be afraid to do, but people are afraid to do it, and that's what I love. That we're able. We have about 18 or 19 kids back in the gym right now, and the oldest one is probably 11 years old. The oldest.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We have them back there. We just started our summer program. It's called Bridge the Gap, and it was a program that Amy Morad, Doc Morad, one of our board members, Amy Morad and my wife Florence Moore. It was a program that they started to help our youngsters. That was 5 years ago, and we've been doing it every year except last summer because of the COVID.
Amazing.
But that's what we do, and these 18 or 19 will leave at 12. Then we have another 18 or 19 coming in from 1 until 3.
Wow.
So the statement, you're getting them at the right age, and the statement that much has changed. So what would you say some of the changing factors have been that most that you've seen has been most of an impact? Is it over the years, the way that have the kids changed? Has the type of crime changed? Has the more of them are not going to school, or what do you think the factor is, the variable that causes these changes?
I think the factor is, this is just my opinion. I may get a lot. You may get a lot of feedback about it, but a lot of the parents, we, and I didn't say they, I said we stopped being parents. A lot of the parents, wanted to be as cool as the kids, and we stopped being parents. And we just, when I was growing up, I thank God. I mean, if you didn't, there's some things that would get put on your behind. I grew up in that era.
Yep.
When my parents said something, you best do it. And the mistakes that I did make, that was when I got out on my own. I made those mistakes.
Yeah. So,
but what's changed is we stopped telling the kids about the simple, basic do's and don'ts of society. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't smoke, don't drink, don't gamble, don't refuse to go to school, don't talk back to your parents. Okay, go to junior high school, go to high school, get a high school diploma, go to college, get a college degree, then get a job.
Exactly.
That's kind of
that's going to prepare you for our society.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly. So what we're able to do here, I know you asked me, Jim, what has changed. That's the biggest change I think that we have. What we do here, we have kids right now. If you walked in here, like I said, the oldest one is 11 years old. These kids will tell you, if you ask them, what are they going to do? They'll tell you straight up, and this has been going on for the last 10 years. Those kids for the last 10 years will tell you, oh, we're going to change the world. We're changing the world. That's what these kids, that's their goal here.
Yeah,
changing the world.
That's interesting.
Go ahead.
So, all right, so you're down there, and I've seen what you have. It's amazing. What are you seeing overall? And you've been with us for a while, and we kind of covered this, but the attitude of the kids, are you seeing that, like, do you see kind of a want that they have, like, I don't want this kind of life, I need that discipline? Because I've read that where people actually like, a kind of a discipline to keep them on track.
I'm glad you asked that question. These kids love the discipline. What are you guys doing to my kids? What do you mean? But I'm thinking something else. Well, he doesn't talk back anymore. He doesn't tell me what he's doing. He's sweeping the floor in his room. He's going to school. I'm not getting any reports. They want discipline.
Yeah.
But a lot of us older people, man, we're so busy trying to live and make ends meet and all that kind of stuff. And
that's right. Yeah. We lose sight. We lose sight of our children.
You're right.
I think you go back a little bit. I don't know if I think we'll lose Sophia on this, but when the TVs were first, the little screen and the little TV, and you turn the knobs, and they were getting. Okay. So, right, Billy. Like now, Billy and I don't go back to when the radios first came out, but I think Billy goes back to the Morse code, right? No, but here you have this stuff, and that they used to say there was criticism about how that was, breaking up the family instead of everybody sitting around talking or having dinner. Now they're in the room watching TV, and now there's a big divide because each family member is, if they want something, they text, a brother or a father or mother in the other room. They give them an email.
From room to room, correct.
Yeah. So, Eric and I yesterday, and happy Father's Day to we were out, and I said, look around. Well, and I said, look around, and all the people, and this was a center, for basketball and kart racing and all, and it was fun. But we looked around, and here's the kids sitting with their parents or the boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever, and the majority of them they're sitting at the table in this fun zone looking at their phone with their thumbs moving.
Yeah.
You know? What? Hello? Let's talk about
that's.
I mean, I can't go over and pull out.
I have a friend by the name of John Duke. It's the Duke family here in San Diego, and they are very in the construction business.
Okay.
John is married to John's a white guy. He's married to a Latino girl. And man, they have a number. Let's see, they probably have, when they get to the table, it's probably about 15 or 20 of them. And John and his wife say the telephones go in the middle of the table right now.
Yeah.
And they don't play that.
Oh.
And you ought to see them telephones stack up on that table.
Oh. That's
and then
amazing.
to figure out how to actually speak with each other without a phone. I think it's like be relearned because we're so distant now with our conversations, and we're not. We've lost that relationship. You know?
Ma'am.
So now
Oh,
it's
Billy,
just like putting those aside, and we have to just like, okay, now what do we do with each other? It's like, now you talk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Billy, share with us about your event coming up, and then, I mean, I want to keep you on another hour. There's so many questions, but we have to move into Carmelita's Corner. But give us your information on your event coming up that we're going to get down there.
Okay, the event is going to be, it's called The Million Punches from the Heart.
Ooh.
The Million Punches from the Heart. And,
Wow.
A good friend of mine, Tom Courtney, who's one of our board members, we kind of started this in the gym one day. And what we do, and then I got with another good friend of mine, Chief Neslite. He's a police chief of the San Diego Police Department. And he's a wonderful, wonderful, great police chief. And so I met with him. And I said, Coach, Chief, what we're doing, we want to punch out. Because there's some issues going on with the police department and the police and all that stuff. And so we wanted to, my dad was always a very good friend of the police here in San Diego. I can remember at times when they would pass by the house, you could come in our house and he'd have 2 or 3 police officers walking around the pool table playing pool. And I thank God that's something that was passed on. I inherited that, and I really appreciate it. The police chief and I got together. We called it the Million Punches from the Heart, where we invite the public out, and mainly the kids, and prayerfully the parents will come with the kids. And what they do, we have some boxing bags lined up. And you get up in the morning, or for the last month you've gotten up, or last year you've gotten up. There's some things that's inside of you. You're angry. You're angry at Jim down the street. You might be angry with somebody in the house. And you might be angry with police. And the police might be angry with you. So what we're all doing, the police have been with us for the last 3 years in doing this. We get on these bags, and whatever is in the person's heart that shows up there, they get a chance to punch these bags. It's a fundraiser. If people want to make donations, they can. If they don't, then they don't have to. But it's a chance
how do they
to come
contact
out.
you?
Yes.
Well, they can contact us by calling ABC Youth Foundation at 234-2200.
234
619-234-2200.
22. So, guys, call that number, Million Punches from the Heart. Billy, we're going to be down there. We have to move into Carmelita, but thank you for calling in, and we're looking forward to getting down there and hitting the bags.
Well, Jim, I'm going to be looking for you, and tell that son of yours, I expect him and Al and Bill, the whole team, to come down.
We'll be down there with bells on.
We'll be down there with
and we'll try to even get Sophia down with us. Well, thank you, Billy, for coming on.
Tell Susie to come on.
Punch that bag. Yes.
What's
Yeah,
that
come
bag?
on down,
That's right.
girls. Come on down. Okay,
So-
God bless you.
look
Love you
forward
both.
to it.
Love you.
Thank you, Billy.
Okay,
And we're going to move into a commercial, and then Carmelita's
take
Corner.
care.
Isn't that that's
Take
amazing?
care.
Billy
Looking
Moore.
to grow and align your brand with celebrities and other established brands? Your brand is all about your entire customer experience. Everything from your logo, your website, your social media experiences, the way you answer the phone, to the way your customers experience your staff. So why not let us help you get your branding right from the start? At EZWAY Promotions, we are a new class of professionals providing first-class online branding, promotion, social media, website development, editing, graphic design, public relations, media, SEO, and online advertising to give your business the competitive edge to stand out. Our highly experienced experts will not only help you increase your online presence, but also provide you with a proven online strategy to help you increase the value of your company and make acquiring new customers easier. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today and let us help you grow your business exponentially.
For more information, contact 424-209-9290 or visit EZWayPromotions.com. That's letter E, letter Z. We also encourage you to like our Facebook page at EZWay Promotions.
You are about to experience Carmelita's Corner. Carmelita's song Rosebud made it to the top 40s with the godfather of soul, James Brown. She's the founder of the Rose Breast Cancer Society. Now here's your host, Carmelita Pittman.
Well, hello there, Radio Land. Are you feeling grand? I am. All right, I just love that applause. Well, I've got something to applaud about. I've got one of the greatest, most beautiful ladies on the planet. She represents an icon of all icons, and she hails from Dublin, Ireland, the beautiful Emerald place. And her name is Cassandra Carrol. Hello, Cassandra.
Well, hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you on. And you really are, I would say, the most remarkable tribute artist to Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, why, thank you.
Yes. And I know that you had an early affinity to her. You and your mother both. I understand your mom was also very beautiful like Marilyn Monroe, and that the two of you came to California, to Hollywood to be specific, around the time you were 11 years old.
Yes. I had my first view of this beautiful lady we know as Marilyn. When I say view, there was a beautiful wax figure at the Grommet Theater, and it's no longer there, but there was something about this beautiful wax figure of Marilyn. I thought she was real. And I remember holding my mother's hand, and my mother said, there she is. And I just felt this connection, but never thinking that it would go anywhere. And she's just been a remarkable part of my life to this day.
Yes, well, you certainly have made it not only a part of your life, but of so many others, too. One of your favorite admirers is a very well-known car collector, George Barris, and he had you go to Las Vegas, where he had a production of classic cars called Stars and Their Cars. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it was just so wonderful. Charity event that happens every year in Las Vegas, and all the stars and their cars come out for this beautiful event every year. I do hope that it will be this year. I would love to attend it this year. But it was just such a wonderful experience. We drove down Las Vegas Boulevard, and I was in the Batmobile from one of the movies. And one of the drivers said, stand up through the sunlight, the sunroof. And I said, oh, no, they're not here to see me. They're here to see all the cars. And he said, no, stand up. And I stood up on the seat, and all of the people on the overpass kept shouting, Marilyn, Marilyn, Marilyn. I couldn't believe it. I thought, why are they shouting for me? And it was and he said, I told you. And they were screaming it over and over and over. It was then that I thought, gosh, maybe I should take this seriously. They believe that I could be a tribute artist. Maybe I should do this. And it's just been such a wonderful experience. I've met so many people. And I remember George Barris saying to me, I knew Marilyn, and you just have her energy. There's something about you. There's an innocence. There's just this innocence and quality about you. And I thought, but people, they're not going to take me serious as Marilyn. I'm not as pretty. I don't know if I can sing. I don't know. And he said, well, if you don't do it, I'll never speak to you again. I said, you're that sure that I could make a career? And he said, I'm that sure. And it just went from there. And I believed it because everybody else did.
Well, that was
so wonderful.
That was a great experience, and you made a great choice because you've made a lot of people happy. And I know I enjoyed watching your show. When you performed the Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, you had two great dancers with you, and, of course, you emulated Marilyn and in that shocking pink dress with the big bow on the back. And you brought so much joy to so many people. And now you're also bringing joy to the Children's Hospital. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have, and we're in the process of recording an album, and it's called Memories of Marilyn. And we have some of Los Angeles, some of the most creative musicians. I'm working with a gentleman called Stan Martin. Stanley Martin is one of the Martin brothers, and he arranged this wonderful album. And we are actually recording about 17 of Marilyn's songs. And there's one song on there that Marilyn was rumored to record and didn't. So we've recorded that in her memory. And all the proceeds of this album go to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And so it is very dear to my heart, and I know that it was very dear to Marilyn. And the Children's Hospital, I'm told, Marilyn fundraised for. And so I'm very excited to continue that legacy in her memory.
Well, that's wonderful, Cassandra. And what are your other plans for the future?
Well, we just, as you know, that the Marilyn Monroe statue just returned to Palm Springs yesterday, and we will be playing for one of the unveilings of that statue with the big orchestra, and I'm very excited about that, and that date will be coming soon. And I'm just very, very excited for the future. I'm just so happy that Marilyn just brings happiness to people. When I dress as Marilyn, people will tell me their stories of the connection. They met their husband through Marilyn, through going to a movie. The husband proposed to his wife, watching Some Like It Hot. Just wonderful stories that you reach people. There's an innocence about Marilyn that survives through the ages. And I think that's one of the things that I love most about her. Even children, 4 and 5 and 6, they say, Marilyn. They all know who she is. She's ageless.
Yes, she is. And, I have another friend who you may have met through the Southern California Motion Picture Council. Her name is Gloria Berlin, and I wrote an article about her. And she has an amazing legacy. And she was a starlet. She's been in 100 movies. And she told me about the time when she was at the Major Motion Picture Studio, and this lady sat next to her and took her hand and had the most beautiful smile, and they became friends. And she said, "My name is Marilyn Monroe." And it turned out to be who you're talking about. Can you imagine?
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
They used to eat together in the
wonderful.
cafeteria. So I can imagine she could tell you a lot of stories. I should put you two together because she's still with us. She just turned 93 years young, January the 9th.
Oh.
And I managed to get my tribute story to her done in time for her birthday. It's in the Hollywood Weekly magazine.
Oh, I would love that connection.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so she's an amazing lady. She's also the lady in black, the mysterious lady in black who arrives in the carriage to put flowers on the resting place of Rudolph Valentino.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I want to talk more about you. So what do you plan to do with this legacy of Marilyn? I know you're using it for charity. It's helped people bring people together. It brings joy to the world. Is there anything else that you can think of that you're using with her platform?
What we are also interviewing, and we have interviewed many stars, Ray Anthony, to name what one, but because we're keeping it as a surprise, and people who knew Marilyn's hairstylist, Jimmy Morrissey. We've interviewed quite a few stars just to talk a little bit about Marilyn's life. And when I mean celebrate Marilyn's life, we celebrate all that is Marilyn, her life, her career, just in the movies, and Marilyn herself. We talked to people that just knew her every day, to people that worked with her. And we just want to bring that legacy to everybody, just to show and to keep that legacy alive. And her beautiful music. In fact, George Barris had actually customized a car for Fox Studios to present to Marilyn because she was going to be performing her live show in Las Vegas. And we would like to, as a tribute to Marilyn, to continue that legacy, to perform her songs in Las Vegas. And so that will be happening next spring. So
yes, and tell us about the Batmobile, your experience with that when you came from Las Vegas to Hollywood in it.
That was just traveling. I mean, traveling from Los Angeles to Las Vegas and back again was just unbelievable. In every gas station that we stopped at, it took us probably double the time to get home because of all the photographs. And they wanted pictures of Marilyn with the Batmobile. And I would stand to the side, and let them take pictures. And he said, no, we want pictures of Marilyn. It was just unbelievable. And I said, but don't you want a picture of the car? No, we want a picture of Marilyn. It was
that's
just so
great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Getting to travel in the Batmobile was beautiful. It's just wonderful. And that's actually the Bat limo. It was beautiful. It was so lovely. I'm just myself and my little doggy. And it was just, he was in every picture and so well behaved. We got to travel. It was just so wonderful. And meeting everybody in Las Vegas and on the way there, all the little cities on the way home. It was beautiful. It was just so wonderful.
I saw a photograph of your little doggy, and it has a full head of hair that reminds me of Marilyn.
And, I didn't know at the time when I got the little doggy that Marilyn had a dog that was almost identical, little mouse.
Oh, wow.
And Frank Sinatra bought her the little dog. And, my little boy came to every show. He was on stage, any charity shows that we perform at, would take him out at the end, and he'd get a standing ovation, actually. I think the audience were there to see him. But he passed away, unfortunately, last year. And I was presented with this beautiful little girl, and she's about a year old, and now she's in training and loves music. It's wonderful. These little dogs like music. I'm glad.
Yes, they do. And
they like music.
Animals are healing also. You know, they use them in hospitals. And it really does make a difference, you know, to have these little animals around people who are getting well. It does promote good health as well. And I do want to thank you, Cassandra Carrol, for coming on my show, Carmelita's Corner, the segment of Radio Boomers Live. We've always got great guests, and you are also a great guest, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you again soon, but it's time for us to get on our horse now and ride off into the sunset. So we're going to say goodbye to our audience.
Thank you, Carmelita, and I look forward to talking with you very soon and sharing some of the music with you.
Absolutely, Carol. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
How about that? Sophia, what do you think?
I think it's
somebody,
super amazing. Yeah.
You know what's amazing is how Elvis and Marilyn are still with us today. You still see pictures of them, you know, when you go to restaurants or, you know, down in Hollywood. We even went to a veterans meeting, and in the entry hall of the restaurant, there was not a picture, but a full sculpture. I don't know if it was plastic or whatever it was made out of Marilyn Monroe. It looked like, when you first walk up, it looks like somebody sitting there. And they're sitting in the waiting area. And it was Marilyn Monroe, and up on the wall, there's Elvis. It's like, this is what year is it, 2021?
Yeah. Well, they just got done bringing the statue back out to Palm Springs. I got a picture of posing underneath the statue with my daughter. So it's just, yeah, it's amazing how she's being carried around, and her legacy is still being carried around, and the impact that it's still having on each one of us to this time now. And I hope that continues to the future generations, because it's just, as you say, it's our legacies that have brought us and paved the way to where we are today.
Yeah, and, you know, we were talking about like the U.S. economy, and it's emerging from the coronavirus pandemic, and
yes,
with basically considerable speed. I mean, it's moving along, but they say there's a lot of transformations in business and so on, and there's just a lot of changes that are ahead that they're trying to figure out how to handle. We were talking about AI and all that, but other than AI, we're talking about higher prices on.
Oh my goodness! Have you seen the prices of beef?
No, I
out
didn't
in the
notice
markets
that.
lately. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. It's where it used to be like $6, a pound for steak, has gone up to like $11.99. That's how increased. Yeah, it's.
And you don't really put that in the budget, like increase in meat and potatoes and all that.
No, it's called eating healthier. Get on your veggies. Yeah.
Eat your veggies, and aside from your food, and the gas has gone up a bit, but building materials, people talk about to buy a home, they're waiting a block long in line, and I saw one, the bid that was put in was $1 million over the asking price, and a lot of times it's $100,000, and on and on. And then, let's build a home. Well, the building, a lot of materials have gone up 200-400%. So they say, that's expensive.
And it's actually reaching across the world. Like, for instance, the ministry I do, like one of the ministers out there, he, gives shoes and food to, people who are in need out there. And the pricing just out there, he would say, this is more increased and this is more increased, and apologize for it. But that's the way it is. I mean, everything just ripples down, and it affects everybody in price.
Yeah, it's like when they go into the donut shop, they go, "Oh, what's the deal here? It used to be 85 cents, now it's $1.50." Well, when he has his delivery of the dough man or whoever it is, he's paying a lot higher. And I suppose for restaurants it has to be difficult because they have to change their menus too and put a little bit less on
pricing.
the menu, or
Yeah.
So
and try to keep it competitive to where we want to buy, and
Oh yeah. And then, so we're going to be touching a little bit on this AI maybe next week, and this is really interesting stuff. And they're not only, Sophia, the big towns, but even small town America is improvising, and with this AI situation and some of their warehouses and their machine shops and that. So it's not just the big modern cities; it's all over, and it affects. Instead of having 5 workers in there with a drill press, now they don't need any because they have automatic situations and just one guy to run it. So it has this effect.
Yes, which brings us to like what EZWAY does. We bring awareness, and see, as I stressed before, and I stressed many times, you can have a website and you can have an app, and but unless you have awareness that these exist, you really have just people just passing by without them having the knowledge that you exist. And we come and say, hey, just like we did for Billy Moore here, and say, he has an amazing, facility out here in San Diego, and this is what he does. And you were able to bring people and let them know where they wouldn't have information. And now we give them all this information that these exist in these companies and businesses and places. And, we're able to share and just bring more awareness and more clients, et cetera, which is super amazing.
Oh, it is. And, like I've mentioned in conversations, there's certain entities like Mr. Blockbuster or, all these different companies that have gone down. They didn't pay attention. And, Eric has built a situation with the EZWAY network, the EZWAY Broadcasting, that
EZWAY
this
Wall
is
of
how
Fame.
You can transfer what you have, transform what you have, and get into the new age and resource what you have. But there has to be changes, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And we want to go over that because you're kind of into that, so maybe next show we can cover some of that because that's really interesting stuff. And
bring people up to speed, literally.
So you can go to exactly. That's that was the right term to use. But you can go to letter Z, EZWayinfo.com, or text EZWay to 55678 and see everything that's going on. It's very interactive. Eric's worked very hard to build that. You've been with us a long time. It's an interesting journey, hasn't it? I mean, with the technology, how things change. And I am not a technical person. But it turns out that you can learn. I have a friend of mine that's 96, and he's learning on a cell phone, and he's still picking things up. So, age, what the heck. So, guys, we can go on and on, Sophia, and I want to thank you for stepping in here for Reatha, and we hope Reatha does well.
Thank you for the honor to be able to try to fill these amazing shoes. But, yes, we miss you, Reatha.
Well, we go back. We're going to have a memory day. What do you call it? When we go back and cover some of these things. We've done all the events, and really interesting. But with that, guys, the clock's ticking. We got to get rolling. So until next Monday morning.
Next Monday. Same time, same place. 10 to 11. We keep moving, keep the faith, and for now, Radio Boomers Live from Jim and Sophia, we're going to be signing out. Have an amazing week, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Radio Boomers Live with your hosts, Reatha Gray, Star Betty White's Off Their Rockers, and EZ's dad, Jim Zuley. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Radio Boomers Live. Radio Boomers Live is brought to you by the EZWAY Broadcasting Network. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Broadcasting Network.